Get results with effective conversations.
What the hell, Ellis? You steal my card and buy them?
I didn't steal your card, I borrowed it.
That's just plain dumb.
No, what's dumb is you not letting me go to the concert because I didn't have the money to pay you back right away.
You have no right to be screaming at me.
Are you gonna call the cops on me? No, what I'd like is for you to trust me.
I worked hard to pay for this computer, and now you're going to work to buy it back from me.
Wait.
Today we're going to talk about stealing and how to help your child realize it's wrong. Stealing, most of us have done it at one time or another. Have you ever stuck your hand in the candy bin at the market, taken a piece out and then popped it into your mouth? Or have you ever found a dollar bill lying in a store and pocketed it rather than turning it into the lost and found? Well, both of these actions are stealing. As parents, we must teach our children not to steal for moral, societal, and legal reasons. To drive the message home, we have to be aware of the examples we set. Do not give your children contradictory messages like stealing this piece of candy at the store is okay, but stealing Andy's backpack is wrong. It's extremely important that you react calmly when you discover your child has stolen something. In discussing their behavior with them, avoid name-calling and shaming, and make sure your child understands that it's their behavior you're rejecting, not them. Let's look at one parent's attempt to correct their child and see if their techniques achieve their goal.
Uh-oh, what did you lose this time?
My Bank of America card. I know I put it in my wallet after I got gas this morning.
You sure you didn't put it on top of your car like last time?
I may make dumb mistakes once in a while, but I make sure to never make the same dumb mistake twice. Checked my wallet before I left the gas station.
Did you use it after?
Nope, I was at work all day.
Check online, see if anyone else has used it.
I didn't think of that. Darn it.
What?
Ellis took it.
How do you know?
He used it to buy tickets to the concert I told him he couldn't go to.
He used your credit card to buy those tickets? What a moron! What was he thinking?
Sometimes he doesn't think. What the hell, Ellis? I told you that the concert tickets were too expensive and you steal my card and buy them? What kind of an idiot are you?
I didn't steal your card, I borrowed it. I lined up babysitting jobs all next week so I could pay you back. Here, Melanie already gave me her half. I was gonna give it to you when I explained the whole thing.
Taking something without permission is stealing, Ellis. You steal my card and somehow thought it was okay with me? That's just plain dumb.
No, what's dumb is you not letting me go to the concert because I didn't have the money to pay you back right away, instead of trusting me when I said I'd get it.
Ellis, we had this conversation last week. You didn't have the money then, and judging from the fact that you stole my card without permission, you don't have it now.
And I told you then, and I'm telling you now, I can get it. I'm watching Billy Steiner all next week.
Listen to yourself. You're going to get it. You don't have it. And you want me to loan it out to you and trust that you'll pay me back? I just don't have that kind of extra money.
Yes, you do. You just don't want to help me out. If you wanted a fancy new dress, you put it on the card.
Sit down and lower your voice. You have no right to be screaming at me. Don't you push me, Ellis. You know that stealing is a crime.
Meaning what? Are you going to call the cops on me?
Oh yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? It's just so I can prove to you that you're right about what a jerk I am.
No, what I'd like is for you to trust me. If I say I'll get the money, I'll get it.
How can I trust you? You just stole from me. No, that's not gonna happen.
What are you doing? What are you doing with that?
I'm teaching you the value of $1. I'm canceling those tickets. And I'm taking this. And you need to give your money back to your friend. And as for this, you need to earn it back. If you think that it's easy to pay for things and that $100 could go to some nonsense like concert tickets, you are mistaken. I worked hard to pay for this computer, and now you're going to work to buy it back from me.
Wait, I have homework to do. You can't just take my computer.
Go downstairs and use the old computer. It works well enough for you to do your homework.
You're acting like a crazy lady, but whatever.
It's clear that Ellis and Mary's perspective on the situation could not have been further apart. The escalation of tension between Mary and Ellis got in the way of Mary teaching Ellis that intending to earn money and having money in the bank are two different things. It also prevented Mary from teaching Ellis how to moderate his impulsive behavior. It takes time, patience, love, trust, and possibly a good therapist to heal the wounds that may cause your child to want to steal. At the same time, to keep your child safe from the consequences that are sure to arise when they steal, you need to communicate with them in a calm, clear, and straightforward way. Tell them what they did wrong, how they can avoid doing it in the future, and what they can do to rectify what they've already done.
Don't you push me, Ellis. You know that stealing is a crime.
Meaning what? Are you gonna call the cops on me?
Oh yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? It's just so I can prove to you that you're right about what a jerk I am.
I'm signed up for the good times and the bad times. I'd never kick this kid out. He needs love. Tough love, but love.
When confronting a child about their stealing, it's important that they understand that it's their behavior that you're rejecting, not them. Most kids who have been traumatized live in a perpetual state of fight or flight. Physiologically, the part of their brain wired to protect them from danger rarely turns off. Their adrenaline is always flowing and their expectations of safety are next to none.
What the hell, Ellis? I told you that the
Here we go.
concert tickets were too
Might as well start
expensive.
packing
Steal
now.
my card
This
and
place is
buy
like all the others.
What kind of
They say they care, but they
I didn't
don't.
steal your card. I borrowed it.
If, like Mary, you call them names such as thief or shame them by calling them an idiot, you're thrusting the child into a defensive posture. If you tower over the child or make aggressive physical gestures or facial expressions, you're also driving them directly into a defensive mode. No matter how upset, unhappy, betrayed, and disappointed you are by their behavior, you must find a way to calm yourself before approaching them. If, like Mary, you start the conversation by being reactive and angry, you're just going to drive the kid into the same state and nothing will be accomplished. In fact, you may even make the situation worse. The child will have left their normal thinking state behind and become unable to process your message. Instead, start out by telling them how their behavior made you feel. Mary could have started out by sitting on Ellis's bed or in a nearby chair and tapping him on the shoulder to get his attention. Then she could have said, "Ellis, I just discovered that you took my credit card without my permission, and I'm really upset." By using I words and expressing how their behavior has made you feel, you create an environment where the young person can respond to your feelings in the same calm tone of voice. Then instead of using the accusatory language like, "Why did you?" you can create a space for them to explain their thought process by saying something like, "Can you help me understand?" Or, "I can't figure out why you..." Again, using I and asking for their help, you're giving the kid a space to explain what they were thinking.
No, that's not gonna happen. for
What
a
are you
long time.
doing? What are you doing with that?
She has totally lost it. What does my computer have to do with concert tickets?
And I'm taking this.
The consequences of any negative behavior must have a direct correlation in severity and duration to their behavior. Mary taking Ellis's computer and asking him to earn it back has no direct correlation with Ellis's behavior. This act is out of proportion to the extent of his offense, so it loses all significance as a teaching strategy. Now comes the tricky part. You have to take the child's rationale and show how their behavior will create negative outcomes for them, and if applicable, how it will hurt others. By putting the ticket charges on Mary's card, Ellis may cause Melanie to lose her ticket when he loses his. This would punish Melanie for participating in a scheme that she had no idea she was involved in. The converse of Ellis's intentions. After showing your child the negative consequences of their action, it's a good idea to give them a clear picture of how they could behave in the future when confronted with a similar circumstance. Understanding the underlying reasons for Ellis's behavior does not excuse him from suffering the natural consequences of it being discovered. At Ellis's chronological age, he knows that he shouldn't be taking credit cards out of people's wallets and using them. He cannot be allowed to benefit from his stealing. If it can be, his ticket will have to be returned. If not, Mary can ask Ellis to resell the ticket. If Mary loses money on it, Ellis will have to work to pay her back. If instead Ellis had been asked to tell his friend what he had done and why he was no longer going to the concert, the embarrassment he would suffer would be a direct consequence of his behavior. Ellis might become angry at Mary's request, but Mary can diffuse that anger with empathy. She can calmly let Ellis know that she understands his frustration and disappointment. However, she needs to make sure that he understands that stealing only leads to negative consequences. She can point out that she would be neglecting her job, which is to keep Ellis safe, if she were to allow him to do something as unsafe to his future happiness and liberty as stealing. Ellis might continue to be angry, but if Mary persists in letting him know that she understands, rather than matching anger with anger, Ellis will gradually calm down and may even process the lesson. Sadly, this one incident of positive parenting may not be enough to permanently correct Ellis's behavior. At 15, Ellis may have suffered from years of bad or negligent parenting. It may take many sessions to make Ellis feel secure enough in their relationship to put a permanent stop to his borrowing things that don't belong to him, or other inappropriate behaviors. To remove the temptation to steal is often advised that foster parents take the precaution of locking their bedroom doors with wallets, cell phones, car keys, etc. inside. Taking this precaution is not branding foster kids with the label of thief. It is creating an environment that's safer for both the foster parent and the child. Let's see how this scene could play out differently using these techniques.
Ellis, did you take my credit card without permission?
I was gonna come talk to you after I finished my homework.
Can you help me understand why you took it and used it to buy the concert tickets I already told you couldn't use it to buy?
I had to buy them before they sold out.
Ellis, we had this conversation last week. You didn't have the money to pay me then, and judging from the fact that you took my card without permission, you still don't have it. And I still don't understand why you thought it was okay to take my card.
I know I don't have it, but I'm going to soon. I'm watching Billy Steiner all next week, and I'll have the money then.
I'm glad to hear that you got a job. That's a great first step. But that doesn't mean that you have the right to take my card without asking me first.
Well, what if I asked you? You would have said no.
Oh, it sounds like you were clear about my feelings and decided to ignore them. How would you feel if I walked in here and grabbed these without asking you?
I'd be pissed, but that's different.
How?
Because you can buy your own. I didn't have the money to buy the concert tickets, and if I had waited till I did, they would have sold out. I promised Melanie I'd get him and go with her. Here, Melanie already gave me her money. I'll have mine by the end of next week.
Ellis, what concerns me is that you don't realize that taking my card and using it was wrong. It's still stealing. If you did this to someone else, you could find yourself in trouble with the law.
But it's not stealing, it's borrowing. There's a difference. I was gonna give that back to you.
Come on, Ellis. You know that when you borrow, you have permission.
Yeah, well...
I'm gonna cancel the charge and return the tickets.
Wait, you can't do that. I already gave you the money for Melanie's. She'll never forgive me if she can't get in. She worked her ass off for that money.
Okay, you're right. It's not fair to punish Melanie for what you did. I'll tell you what. I'll give you 2 days to find someone else to buy the second ticket from me before I cancel the charge. But I need to be paid in full.
What if I find the money to pay you? Can I still go?
No. Ellis, it's important that you learn that if you take other people's belongings without asking, you're going to get in trouble.
But what am I gonna tell Melanie?
You can tell her the truth.
I don't want her to think I'm a thief.
Oh, that's a tough one, but when you start to make bad decisions, sometimes the repercussions multiply. Is there a way that you can tell her without giving a bad impression?
I could tell her you wigged out and told me I couldn't go all of a sudden.
Well, I don't much like the wigged out part, but the rest of it's true.
This sucks. Why can't you just give me a pass? I get it. I won't do it again.
I hear that you're angry. I do. But it's important that you understand the consequences for taking other people's things. I know it sucks now, but it would suck a lot more if you end up getting in trouble with the law.
What do I have to do to show you I get it?
What do you think you could do?
You're asking me?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Seems like we're always fighting over money stuff. I don't know how to fix that.
Well, what if we open a joint savings account? You could put everything you earn into it, and we can agree on what you need to keep in savings. And once I see that you're honoring our agreement, it'll make me feel better about how you deal with money.
But it'll still be my money, right?
Yes.
You won't take anything?
No, Ellis, it'll always be your money. I'll just get to monitor how responsible you're becoming.
All right, let's try it. Worst thing that happens is I save a little money.
Good.
Mary has every right to smile at the end of this conversation. She's found a way to reestablish their bond. She role modeled a constructive approach to problem solving. She kept her cool in a situation where many people would have lost theirs. And in doing that, she was able to keep Ellis's mind in a place where he could actually receive the lesson she wanted to teach. By collaborating with him to find a way to talk to Melanie that would not destroy their relationship, Mary was able to keep the conversation positive and demonstrate to Ellis that she really did care about his feelings and his relationships. Finally, by empowering Ellis to work with her to reestablish their bond, she role modeled a constructive approach to problem solving. It probably took a lot of patience and self-restraint for Mary to go this route, but the benefits are enormous. For more information on the techniques used in this video and for downloadable cheat sheets, go to www.getresultswitheffectiveconversations.com. That's www.getresultswitheffectiveconversations.com. Although these scenarios end with the child accepting correction, that's not going to always be the case the very first time you practice these parenting skills. But with patience, practice, consistency, and time, you will get better results with these techniques. Many foster children are chronologically one age and developmentally another. So teenagers like Ellis, who look like they're old enough to make reasoned decisions, may actually not be. Due to the violence and abuse they've suffered, foster children often act out of a traumatized and skewed view of the world. This traumatized worldview can lead foster kids to steal for a number of reasons. Among them are fearing they will not be adequately fed, they steal food. An unconscious test of their foster parents' willingness to stand by them even when they knowingly do wrong. Thinking that having certain things will make them feel better about themselves, like having the popular sneakers or the trendy jeans. Foster kids sometimes steal things or the money to buy things to give as gifts, thinking that the gifts will make other kids like them. They're having drug or alcohol problems and need money to buy the substances. They're stuck in a very early developmental stage where they want what they want and they want it now. We are so grateful to the contributors to these videos. They include Greg and Mary Thompson, Markel Insurance Company, Connie Clendenin, MSW, Valley Teen Ranch, Dr. Karen Bergstrom, Safe Families for Children, Irene Clements, National Foster Parent Association, Corky Kinsvater, MSW, Talon Grief, CMHC, LPC, Mara Ziegler, MSW, Barbara Thatcher, MSW, Susan Hess, LCSW-IL, USC School of Social Work, and Nicholas Bruce, LMFT, Compassion LA.